Wülf Boi, the magic man behind the scenes, and the guy who just killed it. What was that song? Do you know what song I'm talking about?
Are you talking about the one I had the verse on? Don't lose faith.
Something a lot of people might not know about you if they don't follow you on Twitter is you do a lot of behind the scenes work for other artists, I found. At least through your streams and stuff, you'll do the mixing, you'll help with vocals. You do a lot of those things. Can you like go over what exactly you do behind the scenes and for who, and
Yeah.
maybe even regulars that work with you that we don't know about? Because not everyone goes into the description
Right.
of songs.
Yeah, the big regular, of course, is McGwire. But recently, I have a lot of like small regulars, and not small in a derogatory way, just artists that aren't as popular. But recently, I've been dipping my toes into working with some bigger artists. I mixed My Mamacita with Ham Sandwich. Actually, I have a bone to pick. I have an uncredited master
Here we go.
the Schwabity collab. Did not credit me in the description. I'm coming for you, Schwab.
We can't be having that.
It's like, why didn't you credit Wulf Boi?
Schwabity not crediting Wülf Boi. Insane. I'm kidding. Schwabity is like one of my favorite people.
I'm credited for the vocal part that I did, so that's obviously the bigger deal.
I'll tell him later though. Okay. In terms, let's say, how did you learn how to like mix, master, do those things? I see a lot of streams and I tune in whenever I can, even when I'm working. I'll just
And I appreciate
throw
it.
on, and I see that you'll just teach something and be like, and every once in a while someone will tell you something too, and then you'll be like, oh, I've been using this program for 5 years and I just realized I could do this. What's your learning process? Are you self-taught?
My learning process is doing the stuff for Nerdcore people. I when I started out, like, oh God, 4 years ago, doing it for McGwire, I had a little bit of experience with my own music, and I did my best at the time, and then I just kept learning new things doing it and going back to the old stuff and going, oh my God, this was so bad. And
We all do that. Yeah.
and eventually I just like built up enough that I think I'm pretty good, you know?
I think you're pretty good too.
Oh, thank you. I always try to intentionally craft the space, or like intentionally not leave things dry and in your face. It's all about reverb and delay and stereo width and stuff like that. But aside from that, I'm just getting it to sound good. And if that means that quality, then it wasn't intentional, but it sounded good.
I enjoy it. How do you actually balance, the artist side of you and the producing? Because a lot of artists will do both, but you also do it for other people. So
Right.
I feel like sometimes I'm just trying to put myself in your shoes. I feel like a lot of people asking me to do all these things, paid or not, would just like get me a bit like sidetracked, and sometimes I want to just focus on my music. How do you balance that?
The way I see it now that I'm like able to get paid for my work, it's supporting the music. So if I do a mix for someone and I feel, oh, I'm just a behind the scenes guy, like I think this money is going to, like, that's time that I'm not working like a regular job, and that's time that I get to spend in the studio. So
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay, yeah. You know what? I do get burnt out at my job, so that does make sense. 'Cause
Oh,
that's 8
yeah.
hours of straight same stuff, right?
taking time off of work has been the best thing for me creatively. It's not even about the time, it's the mental energy.
When did you decide to do that, to make that decision?
To start taking time off, it was just as soon as me and McGwire were able to start supporting ourselves a little bit, you know? Of course, he's richer than me, but you know,
Oh,
like,
there we go. It's coming out.
one day. But
Just steal a few bills from him every now. Make him pay for dinner today. That's sort of, you can like claw it back. Just take some money.
I'll get him to Uber Eats us some stuff tonight. No. That's
Well, I asked this, you heard McGwire, but we're gonna go for it anyway. What do we have more of on the world, tires or doors?
okay. My answer is the same, but it's because your wording is very specific. You're saying tires and not wheels. Now wheels, we probably have more wheels, because what counts as a wheel? Like a cog, like a gear.
Does that count as a wheel? I don't know.
There's also Lego wheels.
There's
Lego
wheels and
wheels.
Legos,
Oh my
but there's also
God.
Lego doors.
Oh, the counter, right on the spot.
But if we're specifically going tires, it's got to be doors.
Doors. Yeah. No, it's been figured out. Apart from McGwire, who's your favorite person to work with?
Favorite person to work with? Obviously, shout out Asterisk. I really like working with Hastic. Hastic is so talented, underrated in the scene, so versatile. Doesn't get like full credit for being so versatile. That's pretty much my answer. I love that I get a chance to work with so many people.
Yes. Yeah. How did you, for McGwire, for example, he said Cam Steady brought him into the scene. How did you get introduced to it?
I mean, like introduced as an artist through McGwire, but I've been listening to Dan Bull for years.
Everyone has said that so far. That's cool.
Dan Bull, one of the greatest rappers alive. I mean that genuinely. Before I was in Nerdcore, I was making nerdy music. I think McGwire said a similar thing. And I would put nerdy references into my stuff, but I wasn't doing AMVs.
Okay, yeah.
And once I figured out that was what people were doing, I was like, well, this is what I've been doing the whole time. So, you know.
It was a label.
It was a marketing.
You were already there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think the marketing helps you? Or do you think sometimes you'd wish, because I feel, at least for me with YouTube, when I do so many reactions that now I'm doing interviews and I got some like side projects going on, I feel like my own audience might not be acclimated to it. So I feel a bit hesitant doing something other than reactions. Do you feel that way when it comes to making, if say you wanted to just do a song not marketed as Nerdcore, even though you have Nerdcore references in it, do you think that would be a hurdle that you would go through?
Luckily, I don't really care too much about the marketing. I mostly care about the music, and the music hasn't changed really. If anything, it's given me more material to work with. But one day I'd love to start putting out music videos and stuff, and honestly, I know it's not gonna do as well, but I just want it to look cool and, sound cool, so.
Yeah, I agree with you. With me too, I think sometimes I know videos won't do well, but I'll still post them because I had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
And I know the algo won't like it, and I'm like, I don't care. Like, that's how I started on YouTube. I was very interested in Nerdcore and prominent rappers as well, and that's where it came from, and I don't want to lose that. So I'm imagining you feel that way too, just like being true to yourself first before thinking about the marketing, the algorithm, like all of those like side things that might just narrow down your scope of artistry. Right?
Yeah, I similar to McGwire, I like to keep a broad spectrum of things that I do.
Yeah, exactly. Last question for you, and now I need to think very carefully about it.
Make it count.
I like your hair, by the way. It's sick.
Thank you.
When it comes to, sorry, is my mic not good? Oh, speak louder. When you do very harsh vocals, like the screaming and stuff, how do you warm up to do that? Like how?
I'm gonna be honest,
You just go for it.
I think I sound better when I just go for it because I haven't blown it out yet. It's more of a just being in the zone thing. Do I feel like I can do this? And if I don't feel like I can do it, then I just don't do it.
Is there like an exercise we could do at the end here where like you do one and then I try and imitate you?
Sure, I can teach you, even though I don't have a process for warming up, I can teach you the technique. Okay, so it's called a glottal compression scream. You close your glottis, which means you sort of do the like, and you hold that, and you just, it's gonna sound like,
can you do that, McGwire?
And then you push through that and just sing with that.
Oh my God, that was sick.
And if you go into falsetto, it's like,
what? I can't even, I can't, no, I'm gonna embarrass myself compared to that. What? That sounds even better in person, especially
Oh.
if you were to do that live.
Next year we gotta do. Fuck, I forgot the name of my own song. My Sung Jin Woo song. We gotta do that next year. Gonna hit the. Am I awake again?
That's one of my favorite songs. I think I'm gonna put it in one of my videos too, because that one was so
Oh,
catchy.
thank you, man. Thank you.
But thank you again.
Oh, shout out Sad Boy Germ. That's my goat right there. I'm getting him on the album. He just doesn't know it yet. But
Subscribe, go on his Twitter, watch his streams and stuff. Very entertaining, especially if you're aspiring to make music. And I know a lot of fans are into that as well. So definitely check out Wülf Boi. Thank you again.
Thank
And,
you for
thank
having
you for
me.
taking the time. I know you guys just got out from you, McGwire, Conquest, all came out from just a full-on rehearsal, packed day, and still made time for me. So shout out to all three of them, and thank you for getting on here.
Thank you for having us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Get this interview happening, and we just like stepped outside, and we're like, oh, he's right there.
It fell down my shirt, but there
No
it is.
worries.
All right,
Thank
we
you.
gotta zoom out, but
Yeah,
again,
no
thank
problem.
you so much, dog.
Looking forward to see you guys tomorrow.